evening. I'm Jacob Reimner. NFL news today. After starting the season 2-8, the New York Giants have fired head coach Brian Daboll. It's the third straight season the Giants have started 2-8. As head coach, Daboll had a record of 21-41-1, and he helped lead New York to one postseason appearance in 2022. Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow returned to practice today, a little under 2 months after having toe surgery for an injury he suffered in Week 2. He's eligible to be activated within the next 21 days. Ohio State basketball, Bruce Thornton was named Big Ten Player of the Week. Through the first 2 games, he averaged 32 points and shot 78% from the field. The Buckeyes host Appalachian State tomorrow night. NBA tonight, the Cavs are in Miami taking on the Heat with tip-off at 7:30, and the Blue Jackets continue their road trip tonight in Edmonton. Face-off with the Oilers is at 8:30, and catch the action right here on The Fan. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Learfield. This is the Buckeye Roundtable Show presented by Burger King and brought to you statewide by the American Dairy Association Mideast and Cova Insurance, Window Nation, and by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers on the Ohio State Sports Network presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics. Now, along with former OSU All-American Jim Lachey and the voice of the Buckeyes, Paul Keels, here's your host, Skip Mossick.
And hi again, everybody. Welcome inside another Buckeye Roundtable show as top-ranked Ohio State improves to 9-0 following their 34-10 win at Purdue. They will host UCLA this week. 2 hours of Ohio State and college football conversation coming your way with former OSU All-American, NFL All-Pro Jim Lachey. Great to see you again.
Great to be here.
Hall of Fame broadcaster, long-time voice of the Buckeyes. Didn't want to come back from Purdue. He wanted to stay in West Lafayette.
Yeah, right.
Paul Keels.
The momentum keeps building on what's been an outstanding season, Skip.
Coach Ryan Day will join us later this hour. Plenty to get into, fellas. Always great to get a W on the road. Not that the game was ever in doubt, but what are the biggest areas of improvement you think Coach Day and the coaching staff will be taking from last week as they get set for the final 2 home games of the season?
I think defensively, just making sure that you got everything lined up when teams go tempo. If we look at the last couple games when teams have gone tempo, they've been able to move the ball a little bit against this defense. And I think that our guys make the changes, the adjustments over there in the sideline, and they get it taken care of right away. But just kind of getting with that flow, because I think that's something that some teams might see on film. And it's hard to watch it on film. You have to almost watch it live because you can't see the tempo when you're watching film. But that is something that they want to work on. And then, obviously, you just continue to make sure you got your best 5 offensive linemen out there. I guess the 5 healthiest. They had a couple guys banged up last game, but, make sure everybody's healthy and good to go. But everything else is looking good.
Paul?
Saw some signs that the running game was starting to build momentum, get some explosive plays, even the one that got called back for a touchdown. But that group of running backs, as a group, very productive in that game.
Julian Sayin, another 300-yard game, 1 touchdown. He did have 1 picked off, but overall, another workman-like game from him.
Very much so. And, taking advantage of spreading the ball around. You saw the running backs make some great catches coming out of the backfield. And also, when you think about the game that Jeremiah Smith had, minus Carnell Tate, drawing so much double coverage, and he still comes up with 10 catches. That's what's crazy about it, all in a good way.
No, and Julian has just been fun to watch this year. From Texas, from Grambling, from Ohio to now at Purdue, what he's been able to do these last several weeks in Big Ten play. He's averaging over 300 yards, I think, per game, and close to it. Just finding the open receivers. He's very, obviously his accuracy is there because, he's at 80.9% completion rate. That's historic levels right there for Ohio State and maybe for the Big Ten when it's all said and done. But he's been awful good, and it's been fun to watch his development.
Jim brought up the Ohio State defense. They hold Purdue to under 100 on the ground, under 100 in the air. I know Ohio State gave up a touchdown late, but are you seeing more of the same from that group? And I guess, is there anything more other than what Jim brought up that you'd like to see from that defense the next 2 games where they'll be heavy favorites?
Certainly we've seen them continue to play at that high level. And Skip, you mentioned that touchdown. Really 2 key penalties in that drive that allowed Purdue to get there deep. It's a little surprising, no sacks in that football game, but we've seen how this defense can really throttle opponents. Purdue has challenged themselves offensively, especially being without their top running back. So just another day in which they showed that they can play at a high level.
Yeah, I think Purdue watched that Penn State game and the quarterback holding on the ball that long and says, we're not going to do that. We're going to catch this snap and we're going to get it out quick, and they were able to do that. I thought Arvell Reese, it was just an okay game by him because, I mean, he's been playing off the charts these last couple games. Didn't really see any of those big-time plays that maybe we've seen in the past, but as a unit, very sound. Those guys were doing their jobs and playing and making big plays. Had that Davidson Igbenogson penalty. Probably should have been one called before that. The second, he got away with one and got called for one. By not turning around. I mean, he's glued on his wide receiver. There's no question about that. But sometimes he's going to have to turn around and find that ball.
Jermaine Matthews with the pick. That was nice to see as
Very
well.
good.
We'll get into the rest of the Big Ten shortly, but we mentioned getting the W on the road. How important does it go without saying to be somewhat comfortably to hold serve if you're Ohio State, while two of the other top dogs in the conference were taken to the brink on the road Saturday in Indiana and Oregon?
Skip, crucial, especially we talked about it a lot Saturday. Ross-Ade Stadium is a place that's been a haunted house for Ohio State at times, where Purdue teams you didn't expect to threaten the Buckeyes were able to pull off big upsets. So very, very big. And, that's one of the things when you look at Ryan Day's tenure. You've not seen them suffer that loss that you didn't see coming out of the blue. They've been able to take care of teams that they're supposed to, for the most part, take care of.
Yeah, the 21st century, it's been the spoiler makers over there. Now we're, 5-5?
I believe that's it.
Yeah, it was 4-5 going in, so we got that evened up, which is, odd. It didn't seem like that should be a problem taking care of Purdue, but they've had some teams that have stepped up and been able to make some plays and come out with victories. But that won the case with Ryan Brown at quarterback and Barry Odom in his first year.
Tonight's broadcast, as well as all of our Buckeye Roundtables throughout the season, are available on our flagship station's YouTube page. Simply search WBNS Radio on YouTube. You can watch it live or later if you miss any part of it. You can also download the Buckeye Roundtable podcast wherever you find your favorite podcasts, and be sure to subscribe to both. Fans, you can win a catered party for up to 20 at your home for an away game this season, plus a behind-the-scenes tour of Ohio Stadium for 10. It's the Giant Eagle Tailgates and Tour Sweepstakes, and it's presented by Pop-Tarts, Rice Krispie Treats, and Coca-Cola. Register today at ohiostatebuckeyes.com/tailgates for your chance to win. Saturday, Ohio State will host UCLA. We'll be on the air with the AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show beginning at 6 p.m. Up next, our 60-second timeouts as the Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
More of Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Ohio State fans. Next time that snack craving hits, Burger King has you covered with the O-Fry-O bundle. You get a medium fry, 8-piece chicken fries, 8-piece mozzarella fries, and an 8-piece chicken nuggets, all for just $10. It's perfect snack fuel for one, wherever and whenever you're cheering on the scarlet and gray. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Tax extra.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
AgPro has been family owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
When you're here, you understand what it means to be a Buckeye. And at Elk & Elk, we're proud to wear scarlet and gray every Saturday. Every client, every day, means if you're ever injured, we're proud to stand with you in court. And when you're here at the shoe, we're proud to stand with you and cheer on the Buckeyes.
Whether we're here at the big game or in court, we are committed to you.
Elk & Elk, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
For over 37 years, Buckeye Nation has known Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse for serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks are a staple in Columbus, with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. And just like the Buckeyes, we strive for excellence and an experience like no other. Hyde Park is proud to introduce the newly added wine room at our downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining surrounds you, creating the ideal setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back, everyone, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King, where you rule, with Jim Lachey and Paul Keels. I'm Skip Mossick. Buckeyes are known for paying it forward. That's why Buckeyes Care strives to serve the betterment of our community by positively impacting families across Ohio. Join partners American Electric Power, Donato's, Kroger, the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the James Cancer Hospital, Huntington Bank, and WBNS TV in Columbus in supporting this cause at ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Buckeyes Care.
Buckeye Roundtable, 60-second timeout.
Kind of the way the game is being played now, guys. Time of possession. Ohio State doubled Purdue in time of possession Saturday, but only 9 possessions in the game for Ohio State. 5 in the first half, 4 in the second. Really, the last one was just running out the clock. We've seen it continue to be a thing, but how important is it, especially with these games coming up and you know, you start looking ahead to postseason, the sense of urgency with every possession when you know your possessions are going to be limited?
Well, certainly, and the number of plays helped them get all those running backs kind of running, and also Purdue, that first drive, remember, that seemed to eat up a lot of time. What Ohio State's second possession spilled into the second quarter, but certainly it's crucial, especially if you're able to get an early lead like Ohio State has done in some cases, and be able to operate from ahead rather than from behind.
Yeah, Purdue had that 12-play drive for 70 yards that ended up, just settling on a field goal there, and then Ohio State had a 9-play drive, a 10-play drive, a 9-play drive, and then another 7-play drive. And it seems like, that was a fast half. The game was 2 hours and 55 minutes. I mean, that's almost record territory for us. I mean, as far as the games, I mean, we usually 3:20 was a good game. We'll take it. But 2:55, the clock was ticking, and when you have the lead like that and things are going well and you're moving the ball down the field, you can huddle up, take your time, and, just make sure that you execute your drives. And Ohio State's been able to do that all year.
But there's no these chess matches anymore where it's like 3 and out, and it's bang, bang, bang. It's like, no, because the clock is running. And Jim mentioned 2:55. I know BTN has a lighter commercial load than some of the other networks, but no reviews helped as well.
That helped, too. And we were laughing watching the game Friday night when you were talking about people getting their commercial breaks in and the challenges they face. But, that's also got to be good for the fans, too, because we've seen some of these games. And you know what happens when you get the lopsided games, where there's constant scores, stoppages, kickoffs, things like that. So in many ways, it's a good thing, but it's a challenging thing for teams.
All right, next, offensive line. Jim, the Buckeyes rushed for 170. They scored 3 touchdowns on the ground. The flip side, Julian Sand was sacked a couple of times. I know there's been a little movement, but what are the primary areas you'd like to see cleaned up with that O-line, no matter the combination as far as who's playing?
Yeah, I think the rushing, that could have been easily over 200 if you take away that, the block in the back that Jeremiah had on the 70-yard. So I think that was executed. It was good to see that. A great way to start the game, to take the house. Yeah, after being so good with pass pro, they had 3 sacks in 8 ball games and then gave up 2 in that game, which Purdue, I mean, if you look at their stats, that was one area where, they were 21st, or they had 21 sacks coming into the ball game. So, one of my keys was you got to protect the quarterback because, they had the ability to get to the quarterback, and, they were able to do that against Ohio State. I think Powell had one, and maybe Nunley had the other. 2 pretty good, both those pass rushers. So, yeah, I think one of it, it's technique, understanding, using your hands, making sure that you staying in front of the guy, and just being relentless and the focus. I mean, each and every time, whatever happened that last play, you can't forget about it. You got to focus on the play that you're on right now. And I think, again, young football players, that's something that you start thinking about that last play, and you're thinking about next thing you know, you're on the next one, and the guy's beating you. So it's something that they'll break down, they'll look at the film, check out their technique, and continue to work on those weaknesses that they have.
And Paul, Coach Day brought up post-game as far as the running backs, their performance. I mean, Jackson did average 5.4 carry, West 6.7. Donaldson, he did what you needed down there along the goal line.
He certainly did, and we saw some more aggressive running as well, Skip, from James Peoples. So it's a group that, it looks like to the naked eye that West and Jackson have separated themselves a little bit, but the other guys are getting their opportunities.
All right, next, receivers. Ohio State was without Carnell Tate on Saturday, but Jeremiah Smith still really good. 10 for 137 and a touchdown, and another Jeremiah type of grab. Max Clare, nice game, but how good was it to see some of the other younger guys, Paul, get in there and make a snag or two?
Well, it was to see guys like Bryson Rogers and Mylan Graham get out there. Quincy Porter was a freshman, had been coming along. You got to tell you this story, though. The phone rang yesterday, and it was Jake Butt, who did the game on the Big Ten Network. Jake wanted to know when we knew that Carnell Tate wasn't going to play. And I told him it was like, maybe the second possession. Well, that's when the TV guys found out, and it was they got written up very unflatteringly by awful announcing for not knowing it. But they had a bunch of video packages all designed to feature Carnell Tate. So to answer your question, Skip, it was great in his absence to see other guys step up and do what they did.
Yeah, and you watch pregame warm-ups. Carnell was doing a little bit out there. It wasn't like he wasn't sitting it out, but again, as I talked about earlier today, on the guys on the radio, I got a sense of when I was at practice that it could be iffy, because he was doing a little bit of drills and sitting out on a few drills. And part of that's load management, right? He's a junior. He's played a lot of football. You don't want to worry about him practice. You want to make sure he's fresh. So I thought, maybe that's part of it. But, obviously he's got something there that was tight. He didn't feel comfortable with it. The coaches didn't feel comfortable. And again, they have abundance of depth. Use some of those young guys, give those guys an opportunity. And, that was kind of the case. The same thing was really with Phillip Daniels, the right tackle, because, he went through warm-ups, was doing some things out there, and you knew that, okay, you didn't know until the first snap who was going to go. And then, again, you start to watch the warm-ups, you see Ian Moore out there, you think, okay, it looks like he's going to get the start. But, that's just part of it. That's why you have backups in this game, because not everybody's going to be healthy. And, look at Oregon. Look around the league. A lot of guys had some guys banged up. Look at Penn State, their quarterback. So, that's all part of it.
Real quick, Purdue now 2-8, 0-7 in the Big Ten. Rate the opponent, and the biggest thing they need to get things turned around.
Well, better than they were last year. If you remember when they came here last year, it looked as though they weren't interested in playing. This team showed interest in playing. They showed some of the ability. You wonder what their season would be like if they'd had Devin Mockabee the last couple of weeks, their running back who's out for the year. But they got a lot of work to do still.
Jim?
Yeah, I agree. Defensively, I thought they were a little bit better, and that's no surprise with Barry Odom being a defensive-minded head coach. I thought their defense did some nice things, and, they got some talent over there, some guys playing hard. I mentioned Manny Powell. He's a player now that has close to 100 tackles on the season, so he's a guy that has been doing it all year long, and that kind of shows up. I thought their defensive backs were okay, not great, but their defensive line and their backers, I thought were, the better part of that defense.
Coming up, we will break down what was a wild weekend in the Big Ten. That is next as tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
You're listening to Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Ready? It doesn't matter if you're playing hard or working hard. Your workout only works out if you recover right. Chocolate milk helps you recover for what comes next. It's delicious and contains the right mix of protein and carbs to help refuel exhausted muscles. From biking to bench presses, Milk's protein helps you build lean muscle and gain more from your workouts.
Ready? Recover. Repeat. Brought to you by the American Dairy Association Mideast, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
Whatever happens today, take it on with a fresh cup of True Brew coffee. Now only $1 with True Rewards. True North Store's True Brew coffee is a hot, flavorful gourmet blend created from coffee beans from around the world. As a free True Rewards member, pick the size that is perfect for you and pay only $1. Don't have the True Rewards mobile app? Find it in the Apple or Google Play Store to download and save instantly. True North convenience stores. Fast, friendly, clean.
Buckeye fans, this is for you. Level up with the brand new AAA Buckeyes MVP membership. You'll receive all the benefits of AAA, such as 24/7 roadside assistance, plus chances to win tickets to Ohio State sporting events, access to exclusive MVP experiences, along with 10% off select gear at the Ohio State team shop. Already a AAA member? Add the Buckeyes MVP membership for free. Head to AAA.com/Buckeyes to upgrade or join the squad and put your fandom in drive.
Picture it. Your holiday table, the family cooking together, the scent of golden brown bread, rosemary from roasted potatoes, and a salad so crisp it snaps, spiced cider in every glass, laughter around every plate. At Kroger, we know these moments matter, and we make it easier to bring them to life with quality that's affordable in every aisle. This season, don't just host, make every moment unforgettable. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
Your home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State athletics.
Welcome back, everybody, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King, where you rule, with Jim Lachey and Paul Keels. Coach Cooper will be back with us next week. I'm Skip Mossick. Buckeye fans, power up and carbon down with AEP Energy and Eco Advantage. Their 100% renewable energy plan for your home or business. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
It's time for the Buckeye Roundtable Big Ten Breakdown.
2x2, 4 wideouts, empty backfield for Gronowski. 4th down and goal, game on the line. Gronowski's going to run for it. Touchdown! Touchdown, Iowa! Oh, deception is still the best.
Gary Dolphin on Learfield. Hawkeyes took the lead late against Oregon, but could they hang on?
Ferguson Reynolds says snap it, does, places it, kick is on the way up, it's long enough, it looks, go! Atticus Sambington has given Oregon the lead, and the Ducks are 3 seconds away from escaping Iowa with a hard-fought-for victory here tonight at Kinnick Stadium.
Jerry Allen on Learfield. Oregon runs that 2-minute drill to perfection, gets the field goal there at the end to win it 18-16.
You know, outside of the Indiana-Penn State game, maybe one of the best catches you see was the ball thrown by Dante Moore in that drive that set up that game-winning field goal. But, you know, Iowa going for 2 and almost getting the 2-point conversion, which certainly would have changed the plan for Oregon once they got the football. What a mess that was they played in. But, you know, give Oregon credit. And they were down key people. But the way they were able to come back and win that game was very, very, very impressive.
Yeah, and Iowa inches away from, you know, getting that to 18 points on the 2-point conversion. You know, maybe have a, you know, a little bit different outcome there to be 18-18, and then you got to make them play for a field goal or for the tie. So all those things kind of factor in. Iowa obviously still struggling with their passing attack. They got, you know, Gronowski's got 5 touchdowns on the season. You know, Julian's got 25 and 4 interceptions. Now, he does have 12 rushing touchdowns, so he's been able to do it with his feet a little bit, but they're still setting the time clock back as far as their offense.
Paul alluded to it. The other really good game Saturday was in-state college, where Penn State had the lead late against second-ranked Indiana, but could the Hoosiers find a way?
Mendoza in the backfield, back to throw. Pressure comes again, throws it to the end zone. And a catch is made. Is it a touchdown? Touchdown! Unbelievable!
Don Fisher on Learfield, Indiana, in a position they hadn't been in really all year, but give them credit for pulling it out there at the end to get the win. What a great catch there at the very end to win it.
Some great footwork by Cooper. And remember, they're playing without Elijah Surratt. And also, Fernando Mendoza makes that throw after he had earlier in the game thrown a bad interception and threw a bad pass during that possession for an incomplete pass. How about giving Penn State credit, though? Their first home game since the coaching change, and a team that played much better than what we saw last week here in Columbus.
Yeah, and Grunkemeyer actually had more yards than Mendoza just by one, and they outrushed him by 9 yards. So Penn State offensively, it was a lot better performance than what they provided against Ohio State, but the emotion playing at home, it was good to see that the crowd showed up. They were into it, and what a heck of a game there. And Indiana, was able to make that nice play on a fabulous catch by Omar Cooper.
To Madison next, where Wisconsin hosted Washington.
Single wide receiver to the left is Chris Brooks. Gideon Atuka to the right of Carter Smith on 2nd and goal. Snap to Smith. He's going to run it. Probes off the left side. Touchdown, Wisconsin. Carter Smith from 2 yards away.
Matt LePay on Learfield. Wisconsin gets their first Big Ten win, beating Washington 13-10.
A few weeks ago, we were up there. Matt LePay said they didn't have a third-string quarterback like Cardale Jones. They went to their fourth-string quarterback, Carter Smith, although their biggest pass completion was by their punter on a fake play. But, around here, a lot of feelings toward Luke Fickell, and happy for, number one, that they said he's going to come back and be the coach next year. But to see them finally break through that. And, Washington had to work around some injury problems there in another game that was played in a mess.
Yeah, it was. And you got to credit, we saw a little bit of Wisconsin's defense, what they can do, but they were going with these two freshman linebackers now, Pose and Canelano, and both those guys are playing at a high level for them here at the end of the year. Canelano had 19 tackles in that game. Pose did some nice things on defense and also special teams, but offense is still going to struggle. They're going to win games if you can keep it under 20 points. They'll contend and be in it. So they got that W after losing a bunch in a row.
To the heart of the Big Ten, Piscataway, where Rutgers hosted Maryland.
And the handoff to Raymond. Who else up the middle to the goal line? He's in. Touchdown, Rutgers. Antoine Raymond caps off the drive. He has had a phenomenal afternoon, and Rutgers extends their lead to 34-20.
Chris Carlin on Learfield. Knights a big second quarter. The difference, they beat Maryland 35-20.
Raymond 240 yards rushing, and Ethan Kaliakmanis 4 touchdown passes. So here's Rutgers finding themselves one win away from bowl eligibility. And here's the same old movie for Maryland.
Yeah, and Rutgers has Ohio State, and then they end the season with Penn State. So if they're going to get bowl eligible, they're going to have to knock off somebody. It seems like it's been the same case. Both these guys do a great job in non-conference play, and then they get into Big Ten, and they kind of struggle a little bit. I was kind of surprised. I thought Maryland might have a little bit more than that. They've kind of really slowed down since the start of the year. But give credit to, Rutgers and Coach Schiano for getting that victory.
The Rose Bowl is next as UCLA hosted Nebraska.
Latif at shotgun depth, takes a snap, play action fake, rolls right, looks left, throw back on the wheel route. Johnson's got it at the 22-20, 15-10. Johnson breaks a tackle. He's in. Touchdown, Huskers. TJ Latif continues to be perfect, and another long shot to Emmett Johnson on the catch and run to pay dirt.
Kyle Crook's Husker Network, Nebraska beats UCLA 28-21.
Emmett Johnson, 100 yards rushing, 100 yards receiving. Latif, who takes over for Rayola at quarterback, looked very, very good going back to his hometown to play. And, that UCLA defense was like Swiss cheese.
Yeah, give credit to Latif. He sat behind Dylan Rayola and gets his opportunity, comes out 13 of 15, 3 touchdowns, doesn't turn the ball over. It was an impressive performance by him, and he was just named Big Ten Freshman of the Week, and he earned that. Cornhuskers got that victory. We've seen a lot of teams, make that a tough game against UCLA, but Nebraska was able to find a way to get it done. And like you said, Johnson did a good job running the football.
As we've seen with UCLA, though, they came back and make it a one-score game. I mean, the question we're going to get to much later is can UCLA do anything to cause any stress for Ohio State this week?
Well, what we're starting to see, Skip, is Nico Iamaleava is playing like everybody thought he would in Knoxville, and the way he would and the way he didn't at the beginning of the season for UCLA. I think that, the big bump people get when there's a coaching change and a new voice, that bubble finally kind of burst.
And he's doing it with his feet, too.
Yeah, that's where he gets
leading
dangerous.
rusher and obviously their leading passer.
Let's stay out in L.A. Friday night, USC hosted Northwestern.
Changing the play at the line is Maleava. Moves King Miller to his right. Tight end Strong right. Handoff Miller. Coming around the block by McCree. And he's in the end zone. It is a touchdown. USC, and this game has flipped upside down in the last 5 minutes.
Pete Arbogast, USC Radio. Trojans beat Northwestern 38-17.
We're finding that the Maiava and Lemon passing duo has certainly been a very dangerous one. And for those who paid attention, UCLA got away with a little trickery, inserted their third-string quarterback as a punter, wearing a different number that they gave him 3 weeks ago. He completed a pass to keep a drive going. The Big Ten finally came out and said there should have been a penalty on that because you can't have two players wearing the same number and playing the same position in the same game, meaning the kid that was the third-string quarterback threw that, and then the normal punter wearing the same number came in later and punted. But, however, they won the game.
You think Lincoln Riley's going to be
Hell
winning?
no.
It's like, come on.
What do you think? Can USC be in the playoffs? I mean, they got Iowa this week, and then they got Oregon, and then USC or UCLA.
I think they need chaos. They need the ACC to throw up on itself, which that might happen anyway.
Yeah, but no, it was a nice win for the Trojans, and you're right. We were watching in the hotel Friday night, and we're like, boy, that punter's got a great arm.
That was the third-string quarterback.
Yeah,
and they pulled this kind of stuff
fooled
before.
us, too.
Yeah, that's the reason why. SC has Iowa on Saturday, and again, Iowa, I mean, give it to them. They gave Indiana
their toughest game up till last weekend.
Absolutely, and they did the same thing, obviously, to Oregon last week.
Yeah, so certainly, but it's at the Coliseum, so you tend to like USC's chances, but you never know with Iowa.
My son Luke is listening to us right now and gave me a little text there about their Iowa offense. He goes, they're working on that passing game, Dad. They're still working on it.
They have been.
This week, besides Iowa at SC, Friday, Minnesota is at Oregon. Indiana plays host to Wisconsin. Michigan at Northwestern, that game being played at Wrigley. Penn State at Michigan State. Illinois will host Maryland. Purdue at Washington. And, of course, Ohio State plays host to UCLA. A little bit more on the Bruins that we're scheduled to be joined by Ohio State coach Ryan Day. That is next as the Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
This is Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag BuckeyesCare.
Hey, Ohio State fans, are you looking to score big with your home equity? Union Home Mortgage will help you unlock the value of your home and fund the promises you've made to yourself and your family. If you need to pay off debt, have home improvements, or whatever your family needs are, visit UHM.com and score financial freedom with Union Home Mortgage, the official home lending sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Union Home Mortgage Corp is an equal housing opportunity lender and MLS number 2229.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours.
A team that studies the unique makeup of your disease to develop a personalized treatment plan.
You're choosing our region's only comprehensive cancer center designated by the National Cancer Institute.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
The great thing about Atlas Butler is they do it all. Heating, cooling, plumbing. Look, I'm busy with work. I don't have time to wait around or deal with lots of people. One company, one call, and they do it all. Wonder if they'll clean out my inbox. Seriously, offer that service. Please.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Around here, it's all or nothing.
And Toyota's got more all-wheel drive choices than anybody. Now through December 1st, get 4.75 APR financing on remaining new 25 Corollas and Corolla hybrids. Excludes GR and Corolla Cross. Or lease a gas-powered 26 Corolla LE for $199 a month for 39 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan. You're listening to the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back, everyone, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King, where you rule. With Jim Lachey and Paul Keels, I'm Skip Mossick. Ohio State will host UCLA coming up this week. 34-10 winners over Purdue. Last week was Ohio State, joined for a few moments by Coach Ryan Day. His comments are presented by Kroger. And, Coach, aside from the win, what were you most happy with from Saturday? And I guess, what are any areas of concern you want to try to continue to improve on as you hit the home stretch of the season?
Well, I thought, to go into halftime, up 27-3, finishing off a pretty good end of the half where, well, first off, we get the turnover that turned into points, and then to get a 3 and out and then do the go through the 2-minute drill that I thought we were pretty efficient on, and then see us execute on the field goal. I thought that was well done. We held the ball for over 40 minutes in the game, controlled the game. Would have liked to have seen us finish off those drives in the second half. But defense, before that last drive, it only played 37 plays. So, efficiency was good, not great, but I thought, again, our guys started, the game with a lot of energy and played hard and stayed focused and have been consistent up to this point. So, all things to, build upon.
With Carnell Tate not playing, we're thinking, okay, Jeremiah's going to get double covered no matter what, and it didn't matter. I mean, he had 10 targets, he had 10 catches. I think he's got 16 for 16 as far as targets and catches these last 2 games. Question is, why don't you throw it away more? No, but I mean, he has been on, and the catches he makes. The only mistake was just a little 2-hand push in the back, and I was saying earlier today that, you just got to throw your hands up there and use your hips or something and, on that touchdown run. But he's been playing fabulous out there, and there's route running, obviously his catching, the sideline, how he uses his feet. It's all been very good.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it's not easy. That's why we're in here grinding right now, trying to figure out, how to continually stay ahead of the curve on it all. But give him a lot of credit for just, the work he puts in every day and the timing he has with Julian, because I feel like they're on the same page, the throw and catch on the sideline and then the throw and catch on the touchdown. Those were high end routes and catches. And then, he had a couple other catches that, he really did a great job of coming back to the ball. But he's a hard worker, man. He's out there every day and he understands that, in order to put it on the field, I mean, there's a certain level of timing and, chemistry that has to happen with the quarterback. And he has that with Julian. But yeah, I mean, it's just tremendous every day to watch him work and his production and what he puts on the field. But again, it's great for our younger players to see what he does in practice every day. On the subject of pass catching, was Saturday a good display of the unique skills that Max Clare brings to the party? Yeah, it was good to see Max make some really nice plays. You could see he hit the long run that got called back, and we came right back with the pump off the screen, and he was down the sideline and kind of got him going. I thought he probably played his best game to date. He blocked really well, finished some guys, and I thought played well without the ball, but certainly was productive with the ball in his hands, ran some really nice routes. So I think his confidence is growing, and he's peaking at the right time.
You know, with that 3-3-5 defense you guys had, we saw a little bit more of Peyton Pierce, and I thought he had a really good ball game. I mean, he was physical. He led the team in tackles for the game. What did you think of Peyton Pierce's performance?
Agreed. Graded out. He was actually our special teams player of the week, and he graded out on defense as well. You know, he's getting better every week. Good tackler. You know, he's a high school wrestler and just understands leverage and how to get guys on the ground. But you know, has become really a student of the game, and you know, he's diagnosing plays better and playing faster.
As a group, did the running backs all in their own way kind of show some more steps forward as far as their elusiveness?
I think so. I mean, it started with the first one, and that was obviously a huge emphasis point going in. And I know we got called on a penalty, but it was good to see Bo make a few guys miss and turn that into an explosive run. And then, you know, we ran the ball a lot in the game, you know, over 40 times, and was able to get, you know, on the film here and take a look at the things that we're doing better and get those guys those experiences because, you know, these running backs haven't played a lot of football, and we're going to need them here down the stretch. So it was a good opportunity to get them some reps. I do think there was improvement there. I thought they played harder, physical. There was a couple runs by Bo in particular where there was 2 third-down situations where you know, there's a guy in the line of scrimmage that he pretty much just ran over. And I always say, bring your own blocker, man. Like, that's exactly what he did. And so that was a step in the right direction for him. I thought he played a physical game.
You know, speaking of your running back, C.J. Donaldson also, I thought, stepped up and played well. Now, you know, he's usually getting the ball at the 1 or 2 yard line, so he can't have those long runs, but he's got to find a way to get in the end zone, and he did 2 times, your first and last touchdown. But I was really impressed with his block when Lincoln Kienholz came in. I thought he, you know, did a good job clearing the path, and Lincoln had a, you know, way to get into that end zone. All those things are important out of C.J., you know, not only the running, but obviously the blocking that he's able to do.
That's right. That's right. No, and he's good in pass protection. He had a couple nice pickups as well when he came in there. You know, and we've seen him play on first and second down, but he's very, very good in the situations, like you said, short yardage, goal line, and then third downs. So I thought he ran hard when he was down there. There was, you know, on the first touchdown, I mean, he was made contact. I think was probably at the 2 yard line. He drove his legs and brought some people with him. Not that the blocking was solid down there, but he was running physical. And then to your point, he really dropped his hips and finished the block on Lincoln's touchdown. So I thought he played physical, and you know, he's more than a role player for us. I mean, he's a guy that is making an impact on our offense, and we're going to need him again. Just a really important part of our future here.
A game that was a confidence boost for your kicker, Jaden Fielding.
Should have been, yeah. You know, everyone's got a job to do, and you know, it's very important that, you know, when your number gets called, you got to make the play. And so, you know, for him to get that, you know, a 50-plus yarder in a game and finish a 2-minute drive like that should give him confidence, because we know, you know, these games moving forward are going to come down to a possession or a point, and those field goals become critical. So, you know, everybody in the team believes in him and has confidence in him, and he just has to, you know, stay focused and trust his technique.
Looking at this UCLA defense, you know, they're giving up only 185 yards in the air. That's one of the better pass defenses, you know, in the Big Ten. What are they doing to make them successful?
Well, you know, they have a couple of talented guys in the back end. You know, they had a little bit of a change there midway through the season, you know, with the coordinator coming in, Kevin Coyle, who's an NFL coordinator who was with the Dolphins. He was with the Bengals, and he's been around a long time, very experienced, knows what he's doing, has the guys playing really hard in the back end. And so, yeah, they understand what they're trying to get done. I think now that he's been with them for, you know, over a month, you know, they're really, you know, getting more and more dialed into what he wants to get done. And they're playing hard. I got to give them credit, you know, for a team that, you know, had been through some adversity. You know, they're bringing it each week. So, you know, we know they're going to come in here on Saturday night and play a tough game. You know, and we've seen them do that week in and week out.
Coach, why don't we end with a proud Papa moment? Your son, RJ, 482 yards, 3 touchdowns Friday in their win over Ashland. We know that's a DeSales passing record, but is it a day household record? What's the most you ever threw for in a high school game back at Manchester Central?
That is yeah, that's the most that's ever been thrown in my house. It's hard for me to say that, but I I could say I never threw for 480. No, I'm proud of him. He loves it. He puts a lot into it. There's a lot that comes at him, and he played great. He did. Now, that game's over with, just so you know. We have Maslin coming into town, and so he better not be reading his press clippings.
Little tradition there, Maslin, no doubt about it. Coach, we appreciate your time. We'll see you for your radio show on Thursday, okay?
All right, guys.
All right, Coach's comments presented by Kroger. Kroger Pickup is the easy way to get what you want right when you need it. Try Kroger Pickup today in the Kroger app or at Kroger.com. Up next, we will hit the red zone. Longtime Ohio State reporter Tim May as tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
More of Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Now, the officials have been talking for quite some time.
All righty, let's see what they have to say.
Upon further review, there is no penalty on the play. However, we have conferred and discovered that Bob, the line judge, has saved a boatload for his kids' college using Ohio's 529 plan. It is tax-free, accepted nationwide. Bob recommends we all go to collegeadvantage.com. First down.
Well, that's not entirely unexpected.
Classic Bob.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Experience Buckeye game day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
AgPro has been family-owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
American Electric Power is a proud sponsor of Buckeyes Care.
Hi, I'm Janelle Coleman with American Electric Power. AEP comes together with our communities to create a better future every day. Whether we serve, build, or simply share with others, we make Central Ohio brighter for our neighbors. Our collaboration with Buckeyes Care is another way we work to make the future boundless for all.
Ohio sports destination. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back, everyone. Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King, where you rule. with Jim Lachey, Paul Keels. I'm Skip Mossick. For every Buckeye touchdown scored this season, the Heartland Bank Community Foundation will make a donation to the USO of Central and Southern Ohio, benefiting our active duty military personnel and their families. For more information or to support our troops, go to usocso.org and be the force behind the forces.
Buckeye Roundtable Red Zone.
Joined by longtime Ohio State reporter Tim May. Tim, we'll get into Ohio State here in just a moment. But when you look at what happened Saturday in the Big Ten, a couple of really good games. What did Indiana and Oregon show you? Vulnerability or moxie, with both being able to pull out last-minute wins on the road? Punch him down there, Jacob.
Got a hook up here.
There we go. Moxie or vulnerability, Tim?
Yeah, there you go. Wait a minute. Are you asking me a question?
Let's try that again. What did Indiana and Oregon show you more on Saturday? Vulnerability or moxie, with both being able to pull out last-minute wins on the road?
Both. I'd like to make my final answer, both. You got to give it up. You got to give it up to any team that finds a way to win. You know, we all saw in 2002, how important that is to a national championship run, possible national championship run. But you got to give it up to both teams on the road, figuring out a way to win at two very tough places, and that'll be my final answer.
Tim, Ohio State's down two starters, Phillip Daniels and Carnell Tate, yet they still put up 470 yards, 76 play, hold the ball for almost 41 minutes. You know your depth's going to get tested every once in a while, and Ohio State's depth got tested, and they passed the test again.
Yeah, that's what Julian Sam was talking about, those receivers he stepped up. I mean, they were in the right place pretty much at the right time, but you still lean on Jeremiah Smith, right? When push comes to shove, and then Max Clare. That was funny. I was talking to him after the game, and I asked him how cool it was to be back in his same stadium, but the people were still cheering for him because half the crowd was Ohio State fans, right? Yeah. So maybe more than that. So he heard more cheers than ever in that stadium for himself. But then Jeremiah Smith, stepping up the way he did, and you guys were joking with Coach Day a while ago, but why not throw it to him 20 times a game just to see what would happen, right? I mean, even when he's sort of covered, he's not covered, and the way Julian saying can put the ball in the right places, fellas. I keep going back to it, man. We're witnessing something extremely special here. Maybe the best I've ever seen, and that's saying a lot.
Get any feeling that the running game took a step forward, Tim?
Yes. I asked Ryan well after the game, after the interviews and stuff, and I was sitting there patiently while Nicole Sheeran was doing her interview thing for Channel 10. But then I asked him, I said, that Jermaine Matthews interception, which was caused by Caleb Downs' hit, it looked like, but Jermaine Matthews interception, and followed by an all-run drive, and then you go to the not the Wildcat, but you go to Lincoln Keynotes and what I call the cocked pistol, right, with the extra guy in the backfield, but pistol depth, and the way they were able to run the ball into the end zone. I thought, Ryan Day didn't say they just. I asked him, did you say to Brian Hartline, hey, let's just run it here? But that's pretty much what they did, and to get that result out of it, really, the touchdown that pretty much sealed the deal, and then obviously to get the ball back with a 3-and-out and kick a field goal. But I thought that was a good step, and all four running backs had decent yardage in that game, or decent runs. And yeah, I know they weren't playing a big time defense, but still it's progress. And I think Ryan Day has to feel pretty good about the run game coming out of that one.
Defensively, they continue to find ways to get it done. They held another opponent, under 200 yards, dominating against the run, in the passing attack. And, you take away those two 15-yard penalties on that final drive, they give up 3 points in that game. Matt Patricia, again, if there's any criticism, it's when teams do tempo. It seems like early on they might have some success. But that's it. I mean, once they get to the adjustments, you could see after that opening drive, he had all the defensive guys huddled around the tablet, looking at that whole series, and boom. After that, they had it all figured out for the rest of the game.
Yeah, they give you one of those 100-inch TV tablets, you know what I mean? So we can see what they're looking at too. But no, you're right. I mean, Jermaine Matthews made this point, Jim, and you guys know this. He almost said what John Cooper says. The other team practices too, right? And they found a few things with that tempo, throwing the ball, and then they outsmarted themselves. I'm talking about Purdue did, and ended up settling for a field goal. I'm talking about when the game, was if it was on the line, when it was on the line there, this was a come from behind effort by the Buckeyes. But yeah, I mean, like Jermaine Matthews says, the other team, you got to respect them to having something too. But the way this defense tightens up the bolts, man, is pretty phenomenal. I mean, when the other team only has the ball less than 20 minutes in a 60-minute game, it's really tough to win those kind of games.
Tim May, we always appreciate your time and your insight. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you later in the week, okay?
It's always a pleasure. I get to talk more when Coach Cooper isn't on there. Appreciate it, folks.
Get it all in this week. Coach Cooper's back with us next week. Coming up, hour number 2 of our Buckeye Roundtable show. We'll talk some high school football. Playoffs continue around the state of Ohio. Our Encova Insurance Archie Griffin High School Player of the Week Award, our American Dairy Association Mideast Top High School Performances, and our weekly whip around the state. We'll hit the sidelines with Tyler Danberg. Our Insider's Access tonight, Bill Landis of Substack will hop on. That and more, hour number 2 of our Buckeye Roundtable show here on the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
James Peoples here, running back for the Ohio State Buckeyes. You have to check out the brand new AAA Buckeyes MVP membership. Get all the benefits of AAA, such as 24/7 roadside assistance, plus chances to win tickets to Buckeye sporting events, access to exclusive MVP experiences, along with 10% off select gear at the Ohio State Team Shop. Already a AAA member? Add the Buckeyes MVP membership for free. Head to AAA.com/Buckeyes to upgrade or join the squad and put your fandom in drive.
For over 37 years, Buckeye Nation has known Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse for serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks are a staple in Columbus, with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. And just like the Buckeyes, we strive for excellence and an experience like no other. Hyde Park is proud to introduce the newly added wine room at our downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining surrounds you, creating the ideal setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
At Ohio State, we are the never afraid to innovate teams, the agile, get it done teams, the achieve more together teams, and the improve people's lives teams. Together, we are the Ohio State University.
Learn more about Ohio State at osu.edu/impact.
Around here, it's all or nothing. And Toyota has more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, like the best-selling Toyota Camry. Now through December 1st, get 4.75 APR financing on remaining new 25 Camrys, or lease a new 26 Camry LE for $269 a month for 39 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
Always and forever your Ohio State flagship station.
WBNS-FM HD1 Columbus.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
When you're here, you understand what it means to be a Buckeye. And at Elk & Elk, we're proud to wear scarlet and gray every Saturday. Every client, every day means if you're ever injured, we're proud to stand with you in court. And when you're here at the shoe, we're proud to stand with you and cheer on the Buckeyes.
Whether we're here at the big game or in court, we are committed to you.
Elk & Elk, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Picture it, your holiday table, the family cooking together, the scent of golden brown bread, rosemary from roasted potatoes, and a salad so crisp it snaps, spiced cider in every glass, laughter around every plate. At Kroger, we know these moments matter, and we make it easier to bring them to life with quality that's affordable in every aisle. This season, don't just host, make every moment unforgettable. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Good evening, I'm Jacob Reimer. In the NFL, the New York Giants have fired head coach Brian Daboll after starting the season 2-8. It's the third straight season the Giants have started 2-8. Daboll had a record of 21-41-1 as head coach, and he helped lead New York to one postseason appearance in 2022. An encouraging sign for Bengals fans, quarterback Joe Burrow returned to practice today at limited capacity. He's been on the injured reserve since week 2 after undergoing toe surgery. He's eligible to be activated within the next 21 days. Bruce Thornton was named Big Ten Player of the Week for the Ohio State basketball team. Through the first 2 games, he averaged 32 points and shot 78% from the field. The Buckeyes host Appalachian State tomorrow night. NBA tonight at 7:30, the Cavs are in Miami taking on the Heat, and the Blue Jackets continue their road trip tonight in Edmonton. Face off with the Oilers is at 8:30, and you can catch the action right here on The Fan. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King, is on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back, everyone, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show with Jim Lachey and Paul Keels. I'm Skip Mossick. Coming up on Saturday, Ohio State will host UCLA. More on that coming up. But right now, it is time to talk some high school football.
It's time for the Encova Insurance High School Player Award on Buckeye Roundtable.
One of the highlights of the Buckeye Roundtable show is the presentation of the Encova Insurance Archie Griffin Athlete of the Week Award. During each Roundtable show, Encova Insurance and the Ohio State Sports Network honor a high school athlete for their outstanding play and team leadership. Tonight's recipient is senior running back / safety C.J. Newell from Cleveland Glenville High School. Friday night, the Glenville captain, Newell, had only 4 carries, but 3 of them went for touchdowns for 107 yards rushing. He also had another score receiving while adding 5 tackles and a safety on defense as Glenville blanked Salem 49-0. The Tar Blooders are coached by Ted Ginn. They're 8-3 and will host Lake Catholic in a Division IV Region 13 semifinal on Friday. Again, congratulations to C.J. Newell from Glenville High School, the recipient of this week's Encova Insurance Archie Griffin High School Athlete of the Week Award. Encova Insurance, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Time now for Buckeye Roundtable's American Dairy Association Mideast top performers and our whip around the state.
Great time of year, great high school playoff action all across the state of Ohio. The kid from Glenville, obviously great night on both sides of the ball, but that was not the only top performance.
No, I got one here. Canal Winchester receiver Dre Jackson had 6 catches for 105 yards, including a 63-yarder for a touchdown, as Canal Winchester beat Westerville South 28-21.
Elder running back Tommy Becker, 32 carries, 148 yards, 4 touchdowns as Elder beat Fairfield 27-7.
Mentor Lake Catholic middle linebacker Marty Loncar had 5 solo tackles, 9 assists, a TFL, a sack, an interception.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's it. As Lake Catholic shut out Streetsboro 16-0.
Upper Arlington place kicker Edward Oakley kicked 3 field goals, including a 31-yarder in the closing seconds, as Upper Arlington won at Pickerington North 30-27.
That was a big win for them. Harrison running back Preston Flick had 23 carries for 144 yards and a pair of touchdowns as Harrison defeated Kings High School 35-31.
Kirtland running back John Silvestro, 15 carries, 172 yards, and 5 touchdowns in Kirtland's 41-3 win over Wycliffe.
Kirkland's good every year. Unbelievable. Olentangy Liberty defensive lineman Ben Rucker had a 43-yard scoop and score, helping Liberty pass Olentangy 17-0.
Middletown linebacker C.J. Bryant, 6 tackles, a 95-yard pick six in Middletown's 30-0 shutout of Lebanon.
Massillon quarterback Manny Patterson was 12 of 13 passing for 226 yards and 4 touchdowns as Massillon blew past North Canton Hoover 62-7.
Moeller running back Tyler Jocelyn, 34 carries, 173 yards and a touchdown as the Moeller Crusaders beat Lakota West 33-14.
St. Xavier linebacker Braden Riley had 9 tackles and returned a blocked field goal for a touchdown as St. X beat Lakota East 42-7.
Well, we talked earlier about what R.J. Day did, quarterbacking DeSales to their victory. How about wide receiver Dax Middleton, 10 catches, 226 yards and a touchdown in DeSales' 33-29 win over Ashland.
We begin our weekly whip around the state with a very efficient night on both sides of the ball in Northwest Ohio. Here's WNDH's Dave Kleck.
Liberty Center Tiger junior running back Garrison Cruz made the most of his 6 carries. He rushed for 204 yards, 4 touchdowns. He also had 52 yards in receiving and made 10 tackles on defense as Liberty Center steamrolled Oak Harbor 56-6 to go to 11-0. They now set up a big showdown with Liberty Benton in a matchup of unbeatens Friday night. And Archbold running back Ryder Ryan rushed for 150 yards, 3 touchdowns in a blue streak win over Seneca East on Friday night. From WNDH in Napoleon, I'm Dave Kleck.
You know, Icky's was happening on Friday night. Couple of nice nights in Logan County. Here's WPKO's Chad Wilkinson.
We had a pair of games in Division 5, Region 20. The number 2 seed Indian Lake Lakers held off the Preble Shawnee Arrows 17-14. Quarterback Brady Galladay was 18 for 26 for 154 yards and a couple of touchdown tosses. Wide receiver Brody Reisinger had 7 catches for 87 yards and a touchdown for the Lakers. Elsewhere, the number 4 seed Graham Falcons hosted number 5 Carlisle and fell in a heartbreaker. Carlisle scored a touchdown and a 2-point conversion with just 41 seconds to go to knock off Graham 42-41. In a losing effort, Graham's Jacob Hoke had 4 touchdowns, 2 rushing and 2 receiving. From 98.3 WPKO in Bellefontaine, I'm Chad Wilkinson.
Down to Southern Ohio, big night in Scioto County as we say hello to WNXT's Mark Williams.
As they usually are, the Wheelersburg Pirates are the last team standing in Scioto County after a 43-3 win over the Morgan Raiders at Ed Miller Stadium Friday night in the Division 5 Region 19 quarterfinals. Senior wide receiver and cornerback Kenyon Evans had a huge night with 3 receptions for 118 yards, which included a 72-yard touchdown, and Evans had 2 interceptions on defense, one of which was a length of the field 100-yard pick 6 that delivered the knockout blow. The Pirates advanced to face the Barnesville Shamrocks next Friday night. It's the 4th straight postseason that these 2 teams have squared off, with the Pirates winning the previous 3 matchups. Mark Williams, WNXT Radio, Portsmouth.
Washington County next. Some teams still alive there as we hear from WMOA's Andy Rex.
Guys, 2 schools a mile apart both advanced with wins on Friday night. Fort Fry defeated Caldwell 28-14 in Region 23 in a game that saw running back Gavin Rouse score twice on the ground and once through the air. The Cadets will host West Jefferson this Friday in a regional semifinal. Meanwhile, Waterford's Hayden Jones also accounted for 3 touchdowns in the Wildcats' 42-7 runaway win over Strasburg. Waterford will host Danville this Friday in a Region 27 semifinal. From WMOA and WJAW Radio, I'm Andy Rex.
More big numbers as we head to Muskingum County and WHIZ's David Kinder.
Tri-Valley Scotty running back Levi Wade continues to set records. Friday night against Hamilton Township, he grinded out 311 yards on the ground and 3 rushing touchdowns. That went along with his 31-yard receiving touchdown and a 41-27 Scotty victory. He now has the Tri-Valley School record for total touchdowns in a season at 34 and rushing yards in a season at just over 2,000. And oh yeah, Levi Wade is just a sophomore. The 9-2 Scotties will play undefeated Bishop Watterson this Friday in the 3rd round of the playoffs. Reporting for WHIZ Radio in Zanesville, I'm David Kinder.
Another big night in Knox County. Here's WMVO's Tyler Mathias.
Centerburg running back Miles Marshall had 193 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns, averaging over 7 yards a carry in Centerburg's 28-14 home win over West Lafayette Ridgewood in playoff action this past Friday night. Meanwhile, Blaine Ball threw for 130 34 yards for the quarterback spot for Centerburg, who will take on Colonel Crawford this Friday night at home in semifinal action in Division 6, Region 23. Reporting from WQIO and WMVO out of Mount Vernon, I'm Tyler Mathias.
And we end with a very efficient night on the ground in Summit County, and WKNR's Kevin Arnold.
The Mogador Wildcats are still dancing in the football state playoffs thanks to running back Connor Lehner. In a regional quarterfinal this past Friday, the Wildcats beat East Palestine 54-7. It only took Lehner 4 carries to make the biggest impact on the game. He ran for 242 yards and 4 touchdowns, meaning he scored every time he touched the ball. Lehner and Mogador return to action this Friday against East Canton in the regional semifinals. For WKNR in Cleveland, I am Kevin Arnold.
All right, Kevin, appreciate it. It's like 60 yards of carry. Wow. It's unbelievable. Thanks to all of our great affiliates all around the state of Ohio. Great playoff whip tonight. Home teams, St. Henry, they're still rolling.
Yeah, they beat New Bremen 14-7. They're going to have 7-5 Cedarville come to St. Henry for the game. Sweet 16, you can't beat it. You know, I mean, it's great. And give a shout out to the girls volleyball team at St. Henry. They ended up being runner-up. They lost to Newark Catholic, but heck of a season to be state runner-up.
Moeller, we heard, beat Lakota West.
They'll face St. Xavier, a GCL matchup.
And Coach Cooper's Arlington Golden Bears, we heard, last-second field goal to defeat Pick North. All the way back east out to Route 256 again this week. They hit Pickerington Central.
Wow.
So be the champions of Pickerington if they get it done. Exactly. Yeah. Just go straight and don't turn left. Our top performers from around the state was presented by the American Dairy Association Mideast. A reminder from Ohio's dairy farmers, 8 ounces of delicious chocolate milk has 8 grams of protein with the power to fuel everyone, including Ohio State quarterback Tavian St. Clair. He's built like a Buckeye, and you can be too. Learn more at ohiostatebuckeyes.com/built like a Buckeye. There was some wildness in the top 25. We will discuss after further review as the Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
You're listening to Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
The best outcomes for treating cancer come from early detection and early diagnosis.
The James Cancer Diagnostic Center at Ohio State
is designed to provide rapid evaluation and a clear diagnosis.
We are transforming care by giving patients direct access
to cancer experts who study and treat cancer every day.
If you think you have cancer, the choice is clear.
Choose the James Cancer Diagnostic Center.
Ready? It doesn't matter if you're playing hard or working hard. Your workout only works out if you recover right. Chocolate milk helps you recover for what comes next. It's delicious and contains the right mix of protein and carbs to help refuel exhausted muscles. From biking to bench presses, Milk's protein helps you build lean muscle and gain more from your workouts.
Ready? Recover. Repeat. Brought to you by the American Dairy Association Mideast, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, getting ahead in this world is not as complicated as it might seem. Having the early guidance and counsel of your community banker, one who knows you and your family's story, can make a great deal of difference. Relationships matter. Bank on community banking. I'm Scott McComb, coming over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The great thing about Atlas Butler is they do it all. Heating, cooling, plumbing. Look, I'm busy with work. I don't have time to wait around or deal with lots of people. One company, one call, and they do it all. Wonder if they'll clean out my inbox. Seriously, offer that service. Please.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Experience Buckeye game day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
Around here, it's all or nothing.
And nobody has more all-wheel drive choices than Toyota. Now through December 1st, get 4.75 APR financing on any remaining new 25 RAV4 or RAV4 Hybrid. Or lease a new gas-powered RAV4 LE for $289 a month for 39 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Your Ohio State flagship station. The Fan. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State athletics.
Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King continues with Jim Lachey, Paul Keels. I'm Skip Mossick. Ohio State will host UCLA on Saturday. 7:30 kickoff at Ohio Stadium. We'll be on the air with the pregame show beginning at 6 p.m. Before that, join Coach Ryan Day and experts from across Buckeye Nation to preview every matchup and break down each week's game. Game Time with Ryan Day, presented by Huntington Bank, airs game day Saturday mornings at 9 on 10 TV in Columbus and statewide on OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
Buckeye Roundtable.
Greatest play. It's under further review.
After further review.
Kick is a high wobbler, not that deep. Hernandez will let it hit, takes it off the bounce from the 10, now 15-20, breaks a tackle there, 25-30, steps outside the numbers 40, 45-50, gets a block down the boundary, he goes, he might go the distance, he is going to go! Touchdown! Wake Forest, Carlos Hernandez runs it all the way back, and the Deacons are within a PAT of the lead here with 1:33 to go.
Stan Cotton on Learfield. Wake Forest upsets Virginia 16-9.
This is the 18th win that Wake Forest has ever had over a top 20 team. They but Tony Elliott's Virginia team still in a position. It's their first conference loss, and the wacky ACC. They have a chance still to get in the conference championship game. And Tony Elliott's done a great job not only coaching the football team but getting them over the tragedy where those young men lost their lives on that campus a couple of years ago.
Virginia's got to finish in the red zone and settle for 3 field goals in that game. 9 points. They got to find a way to get some of those into touchdowns.
Another surprise in the ACC as Louisville hosted Cal. It went to overtime.
Drops to throw, looks to the end zone, making the catch. DeJesus at the goal line. Touchdown, California. Jacob DeJesus calls game. DeJesus is in to stun the 15th ranked Cardinals.
Justin Allegri on Learfield. Cal goes for the win. They get it in OT at Louisville, 29-26.
Jaron Kiwe Sagaputulele, the quarterback of the Cal Bears, a freshman who has been very good, very impressive, and again, we forget Cal's in the ACC. Yeah. This is all part, along with Stanford. This is all part of what can shake this conference up. And really, Skip, what a lot of this is doing is it's cannibalizing themselves, and they're going to be a one-bid team in the playoffs.
Remember the Pac-10 conference? It used to be a pretty good conference.
I remember when it was the Pac-8.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. But no, it was a good win to go to Louisville and to get that victory.
ACC, as mentioned, really crowded. 5 teams, 5 with 1 loss. We'll see how it plays out. Miami of Florida still not out of it yet, though. Would they be, though, if they didn't beat Syracuse?
Here comes the blitz. Beck throws. Open field, and here we go. This is a drag race to the end zone. It's going to be a touchdown for Keelan Marion.
Joe Zagacki, Hurricane Network. Miami beats the Qs 38-10.
And Carson Beck passes for over 240 yards. Key, no interceptions. That's where he's been up and down, turning the ball over.
No, that was a good win for Miami to come back. And, after having some tough games, some tough losses there, it's just 2 tough losses, but 3-2 in the ACC. They needed to get that victory to stay alive.
A showdown in the Big 12 as Texas Tech hosted undefeated BYU.
He's over on the left side now. John Carlos Miller on the right. Play action, throw right side. He's going for Coleman, for Douglas. It is touchdown, Red Raiders. Caleb Douglas has the score in the corner of the end zone near side.
Brian Jensen on Learfield. Texas Tech hands BYU its first loss, 29-7. It's crowded there in the Big 12 as well.
It sure is. And Tech is different when Baron Morton is healthy. And their defense really choked off BYU. And Bear Buckmeyer just had pressure around him all game, it looked like.
Rodriguez, he flashed the Heisman pose. He might be invited to New York, but I was thinking BYU would have a little bit more, challenge them a little bit more. Didn't score until the fourth quarter in this ball game, so suffered their first loss of the year.
To the SEC, Texas A&M was at Missouri.
3rd and 2. Mellon Nordstrom in motion. Ruben follows behind him and breaks through the pack. He's gone. He's at the 35, the 30, the 20, the 10, and Ruben races into the end zone. Touchdown, Aggies!
Andrew Monaco and friends on Learfield. A&M still unbeaten. They beat Mizzou 38-17.
Remember, we met those friends a couple of years ago when they came to Columbus for basketball. Marcel Reed, the quarterback for Texas A&M, is keeping himself in the Heisman discussion.
Yeah, and obviously was third in the last playoff poll. They're not going to change. They're going to be a team that's going to be. You're going to have to meet them sooner or later. They're a tough football team right now.
Tuscaloosa is next. Alabama hosted LSU.
33 seconds to go, and again, no timeouts left. Ty taking a lot of time, but gets the snap off. Looks, fires, catch, touchdown, Alabama. Ryan Williams making the grab. Hooray for Hollywood as Bama extends the lead to 16-3.
We were driving back from Purdue listening to the Alabama French broadcast. I don't know if you... I think it was a French broadcast.
Really?
Just Chris Stewart on Learfield. Alabama beats LSU 20-9.
Remember after week 1, they were ready to run Kalen DeBoer out of Tuscaloosa, maybe with a stop at the barbecue place. Dreamland. I was trying to remember the name of that. But the way Alabama is playing, this is a team that you don't want to see in the playoffs.
No, and Ty Simpson, their quarterback is playing well, threw for 277. That's 8 straight wins for the Crimson Tide.
To Starkville as Georgia was at Mississippi State.
He's in the backfield with Gunner, and we bring Humphreys in motion. Bootleg by Stockton. He rolls around in the pocket, finds Noah Thomas, caught at the 50. Thomas 40, breaks the tackle 35, angling this way between the hash marks. Weaves back 10, 5, touchdown! Noah Thomas all the way!
Scott Howard on Learfield. Georgia keeps pounding along. They win at Mississippi State 41-21.
This might be the least talked about one-loss team in the country. And when Gunnar Stockton plays like that, they're a dangerous team.
They are a dangerous team. And, they got a pretty good coach. Coach Kirby's got those guys, playing at a high level right now. Just one loss in the SEC, sitting there at 8-1. They were ranked 5th last week, and they'll stay right there.
Final stop, Nashville. Vanderbilt trying to stay close as they hosted Auburn.
There's the snap. It's Pavia. He throws a jump pass to it. So they've got it. Cole Spence. Touchdown. Vanderbilt. Overtime 1. The Doors get 6 with number 16. They snuck him behind the defensive line. What a play. What a jump pass by number 2.
Andrew Allegretta on Learfield. Vandy beats Auburn in overtime, 45-38.
A Tim Tebow impersonation by Diego Pavia with that jump pass. But how about Auburn? Coaching change, DJ Durkin taking over, and we've seen that this year in some cases, UCLA being one of them. How all of a sudden a new voice gives a team a new mood.
Yeah, and that was, that was a game that you thought, man, it'd be great to see Auburn pull this thing off for their fans, and, you go through a coaching change for their players. They fought to the end, but just came up short.
This week, as far as top 25 teams matching up, Notre Dame is at Pitt. Pitt, one of those teams with just one loss.
That could be dangerous for the Irish.
But it's not a conference game, so it's not going to hurt Pitt if they lose it.
No, but it'll kill Notre Dame if they lose.
No doubt. Oklahoma is at Alabama. Texas at Georgia this week. So a couple of really key games in the SEC.
Everybody thinks Texas is playing better. Maybe we'll find out.
And game day is going to be at that Pitt Notre Dame game. I think it's the first time that game day's been at Pitt in a long time.
Oh, there you go.
They have their leashes there?
So,
yeah.
Maybe so. Somebody have to clean up. They got the bags you can clean up after out there. Up next, we will hit the sidelines with Tyler Danberg. That is next. Is tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show. Woof Woof continues.
This is Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Hey, Ohio State fans! Next time that snack craving hits, Burger King has you covered with the O-Fry O bundle. You get a medium fry, 8-piece chicken fries, 8-piece mozzarella fries, and an 8-piece chicken nuggets, all for just $10. It's perfect snack fuel for one, wherever and whenever you're cheering on the scarlet and gray. At BK, have it your way. You rule! Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Tax extra.
AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
Everyone loves Donato's legendary thin crust, but sometimes you want a little more to grab. That's where Donato's hand-tossed pizza comes in. Golden, delicious, and perfect for dipping in that ranch, marinara, or garlic butter sauce. For a limited time, get a large one-topping hand-tossed pizza plus dipping sauce for just $9.99. Order online using promo code MORE. Donato's. Gotta love more.
AgPro has been family-owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. You're listening to the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back, everyone, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King, where you rule, with Jim Lachey, Paul Keels. I'm Skip Mossick. Be sure to check out the Buckeye Game Day concert series presented by the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer before every home game this season outside of St. John Arena in Buckeye Fan Fest. Each week features a different artist on stage 2 hours before kickoff. Get on board. Book your cruise today. Visit BuckeyeCruise.com. Go Buckeyes and beat cancer.
This is the Elk and Elk Report on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Real quick on the two deep, Dim, and we touched on it earlier, but might there be any movement up or down either way on that offensive line for Ohio State?
Yeah, I would think that, because you saw Philip Daniels go to Ormos, he should be good to go. That injury that he had, it seems to be minor, so I think he's going to be ready to go. And then it's still, who they're going to work at that right guard position. You saw a little bit of Gabe Van Sickle, got a couple reps there. You saw Ethan Oniawa got a few reps at that right guard spot. So they're still not settled there, but they're going to keep working. But, 4 out of the 5, I think they feel pretty confident with. And then you got Ian Moore now with some experience underneath his belt. He's a guy that you can plug in there if the need be for one of those tackles. But it's still, I think they want to figure out what they want to do at right guard.
People don't understand, though. I mean, they might be football fans. They may not understand. Say, well, Jim, it's just one guy. I mean, there's still 4 that know. One guy can make a big difference.
It's like fingers in a glove, man. You all have to work together. If one guy makes a bad play, the whole line looks bad. So it's combination blocks, is all those type of things. They all have to be on point.
Our Two Deep report was presented by Elk & Elk. Serious fans of Ohio State athletics, call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. Go Buckeyes.
Time now for Buckeye Roundtables from the Sidelines Report on the Ohio State Sports Network.
We knew it would be a special day for Ohio State tight end Max Clare on Saturday as he returned to Purdue. 5 catches, 59 yards. After the game, Clare with our Tyler Danberg.
Max, what was it like to come back here and face your former school, face your brother, and what was today like?
No, it was really cool. Obviously, I have a lot of love for Purdue, everything they've done for me. Great institution, great people, and great people all around. It was really cool to see my brother across the field as well, and obviously a lot of family in attendance, so it's cool to bring everyone together like that.
How many family members do you think you had?
Oh, I can't even put a number on it. It was up there, though. Well over 50, I would say.
You mentioned it, but what did Purdue do for you?
Oh, a lot. I mean, they took a shot out of me out of high school, and, just the people here, they poured into me, whether academically or on the field. I had a great 3 years here and, wouldn't trade it for the world.
5 grabs for 59 yards today. What was working for you?
Yeah, obviously just finding the soft spots in zone, and, Julian doing a great job of getting the ball out and just making plays. So still left a lot out there, and, we're still working on it.
Where do you feel like you're better week 9 compared to week 1?
Yeah, I'd say just every aspect, just keep growing my game and, keep getting more comfortable in the system and, just like I said, just keep growing my game week to week.
What was the moment, Max, when you realized I'm at Ohio State? What was your welcome to Ohio State moment?
Yeah, probably just like fall camp and spring camp. It's just different here, you know what I mean? Just everything, and it's awesome to be a part of, and I'm super happy I'm here, and it's been a lot of fun.
5 years ago, you were in a 3-way quarterback battle at St. Xavier.
Yeah.
And that's how you became a tight end?
Yeah, exactly.
When you think about that journey, 2020 to now, how surreal has this run been for you?
Oh, yeah, it's been really cool. Just the evolution of my game and, switching positions like that. And, I love it. Tight end, it's a special position, and I'm super happy I made that transition.
And, Paul, the tight ends have made some nice contributions this season.
They have. When you think about Nate Roberts, the way they've used him as fullback, threw to him a couple times last week. Certainly Bennett Christian in the end zone a couple of weeks ago. We know what Wilk Asmeric has done, Jelani Thurman. When they said that about Max Clare having been a quarterback at one point, it reminded me of, remember Darnell Sanders throwing a couple of touchdown passes when he was a tight end here at Ohio State? So, and I forget who it was. Maybe it was Brandon Ennis. They hid the fact that he had been a quarterback in high school when he threw that pass on the kick return to Lorenzo Styles. So you never know what might be hiding there.
45 receptions out of that group, 5 TDs. Those tight ends have been deep, and all those guys play. It's amazing. You saw Nate Roberts, the freshman, get some opportunities, to block at fullback, and got a couple thrown his way through the course of the year. It was interesting after the game. I was watching Max Clare. He kind of ran over to like the 20-yard line on the Purdue sideline, and that's where most of his family was sitting, and with his brother Luke, and got a chance to get some photos, and just a great moment for the Clare family to have both their sons playing in the game, to get a chance to have photos, things like that. Those are going to be memories that'll last a lifetime. And you hear that country music in the background during the locker room, and I once asked, I said, who is the DJ down there? And, who picks the country music?
Giovanni.
Kevin Reese says that they play country after the game to get the players out of the locker room quicker.
Does it work?
Yeah, well, they get on the bus. They're ready to go.
Take their shower pill?
They're all Luke Combs fans, one of the two. I don't know. All right, coming up, we'll put a bow on Purdue, look ahead to UCLA. Our Insider's Access tonight, longtime Ohio State reporter, now on Substack, Bill Landis, will join the Buckeye Roundtable show next.
More of Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, 2-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. with local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs. Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Whatever happens today, plan to conquer it with a fresh cup of True Brew coffee. True North Convenience Store's True Brew coffee is a hot, flavorful gourmet blend created from coffee beans from around the world. Our brew is truly perfect for any time of the day. During October and November, enter for a chance to win free coffee for a year. Check the True Rewards app for details or find the mobile app in your favorite app store. Offer valid October 7th through December 1st. True North Convenience Stores. Fast, friendly, clean.
AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Around here, it's all or nothing. And Toyota has more all-wheel drive choices than anybody, like the family-size Highlander and the bigger, more powerful Grand Highlander. Now through December 1st, get 4.75 APR financing on any remaining new 25 Highlander or Grand Highlander, including hybrid models, with approved credit through TFS. Plus, you get Toyota Care, 2 years no-cost maintenance. For complete details, go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Hear every Buckeye game every year. The Fan. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back, everybody, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King, where you rule. With Jim Lachey, Paul Keels, I'm Skip Mossick. Ohio State Athletics and Anduril have joined forces to recognize November as Military Appreciation Month. Join Buckeye fans across the state in thanking all former and current military members for their service. Veterans Day is tomorrow. Saturday, Ohio State limited to Purdue to 1-of-1 scoring on trips inside the 20. This defensive summary is brought to you by Anduril, whose mission is to transform U.S. military capabilities through advanced technology. Anduril, an official sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Buckeye Roundtable Insiders.
Joined for a few minutes now by Bill Landis, Substack, and other platforms. And Bill, as Ohio State again puts Purdue in the rearview mirror, gets ready for UCLA moving forward as we hit the closing 3-game stretch. You know, teams are kind of who they are. I mean, Ohio State's been pretty consistent all season, but from your chair, is there any area of concern that you see as you cover this team every week as far as closing the season out these final 3?
Yeah, I don't know that I would count it as concern necessarily, but I'm curious to see how the situation continues to develop on the offensive line, specifically at right guard. If Josh Padilla can get back and healthy and play this next game and the one after it, does he keep rotating with Tegra Shabola? And then does that force any kind of change there? Maybe Josh begins starting and Tegra could rotate in with him. And I think too, you're going to see them really continue to try to work on the run game these next couple of weeks. I thought that was evident against Purdue, and I would imagine they try to do the same in these next 2 games against UCLA and Rutgers.
You know, when you look at the defensive line, I thought we saw a little bit more of Zion Grady. I think he's starting to make a push there at defensive end with C.J. Hicks kind of on the sideline until the playoffs for Ohio State. And then we didn't really see any of Tywone Malone, who's played awful well this year. You know, he had 6 starts, Edric Houston got the start in that ball game. Don't know if there's injury concerns or what, but it seems like they've settled on some guys. And, like I thought Edric had played well against Penn State, and, that kind of elevated him a little bit to be in the package. And I thought he played well again on Saturday. What are your opinions on those two guys?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Edric's played really well the last couple of games, and he kind of earned that start. The defensive tackle position has actually become a bit of a strength. I was worried about that coming into the year, just whether or not they'd have enough depth. You knew Caden McDonald was going to be pretty good, and it turns out that he's excellent. He's one of the best defensive tackles in the country, but some guys needed to step up around him, and I think Tyrone has. Hopefully he can come back. I think Edric is starting to, and I think even Will Smith has played really well there too. So that's a pretty strong group, and I think at defensive end, obviously like a lot of what Kenyatta Jackson has done, and Caden Curry has played great, and it seems like Bo Atkinson is kind of the third guy there, but it would be good for Ohio State, I think, to find a fourth and a fifth that they feel really good about. And Zion Grady has a chance to be that. I think when he's been on the field, he's played well for a true freshman. He seems, pretty physically strong for a younger guy. I think he plays the run really well. He's clearly got the pass rushing chops. So he's a guy that's got a bright future, certainly, but we could start seeing more of him early on now for sure.
Bill, Saturday we saw cornerback Davison Igbinosun get caught with his hand in the cookie jar, but do you feel like he's kind of smoothed some of that out from where he was last year?
I lost you there for Paul. I'm sorry. Can you answer that again?
Yeah, Davison Igbinosun, the cornerback. We saw him get a pass interference penalty Saturday. Probably should have had a second one, but by and large, based on where he was last year, do you feel like he's improved in that area?
Yeah, I do. I mean, yeah, I'm not great at math, but I think 3 penalties is fewer than 17. So I think he's doing okay in that area. Yeah, he's certainly smoothed some things out. I think it has a lot to do with his footwork. He's just putting himself in better positions. Teams are going to keep attacking him because he has that reputation, but it does seem like he's playing a little more technically sound and is definitely drawing fewer flags than he drew last year.
Arvell Reese has been so dominating, and we saw that through the first 8 games. His last game, just 1 tackle. Didn't really, have those wild plays like we saw in almost every game this year. Still a great player. We saw a little bit more of Peyton Pearson. He was able to step up with 7 tackles in that game. Sonny Styles had 5. Those linebackers are still doing a great job for Ohio State, and it's proven that they got a lot of depth too now.
Yeah, it's a good group. I think it felt to me like they were trying to give Arvell and even Sonny at times a little bit of rest. So you saw Peyton Pierce play a good amount. You saw Riley Pettijohn play a little bit. Arvell's excellent. He'll have a gigantic role to play here down the stretch. The one thing that was interesting to me in the Purdue game is that they were at times spying the Purdue quarterback, but typically they've done that with Arvell. They just kind of chose not to, I think, in that Purdue game. So it gives guys, some other guys an opportunity to kind of work on that skill set. But I think in any kind of big game that they play moving forward, that will be Arvell's job again.
After the Indiana-Penn State game, it was easy for people to talk about a Heisman moment. When you get to watch Julian Sayin and Jeremiah Smith all season, is a Heisman moment in your mind, Bill, necessary?
No, darn near perfection feels like a Heisman moment to me, and that's kind of the way that Julian's operating. So they make wow plays all the time. That touchdown throw that Julian had to Jeremiah against Purdue is one of the better thrown passes I've seen this year, maybe in my entire time covering college football. It was just an incredible throw, but people don't take note of it because it happened against Purdue in a game that was lopsided. So I think I don't think Julian or Jeremiah need like a quote unquote moment to win it. I think what it's really going to come down to is one, beating Michigan and playing well there, and then the likelihood of kind of getting into a showdown with Fernando Mendoza and Indiana in the Big Ten championship. And I think kind of whoever plays the best there is probably who's going to win the Heisman. But no, I don't think they need the moment. But it's interesting to me. Like it's like you almost need to lose in order for people to pay attention to you when it comes to the Heisman. And it's the Julian Sayin and Jeremiah Smith's. It's their problem that Ohio State's too good, I guess.
There's been comparisons between, last year's national championship team and this year's team and, who's playing better. And right now I would say that last year our running backs, Quinshawn and Travion, and obviously what they're doing in the NFL proves it. They were pretty deep. But I think our tight end room's a little bit deeper. I think, Carnell and Jeremiah have stepped up their game a little bit. Julian, getting it done. The offensive line, maybe be a point where, you could say maybe last year until the injuries. They were a little bit stronger. Defensive line, probably it's hard to, go with the, two great defensive ends and 2 defensive tackles that all got drafted last year, but they're doing it this year with a different defensive coordinator, and yet still be dominating. I think our linebackers are playing well. Our secondary, I think, is one of the tops in the country. What's your opinion when you compare last year to this year?
Yeah, it's hard just because we all saw that run those guys went on last year, right? And it was just one of the more impressive runs in the history of college football. So I want to give sort of proper deference to that. But I think when you analyze where this team is now and kind of where that team was at this point last season, there are definitely things about this group that I think are better. You kind of touched on it. The back seven, I think, on defense is better and more versatile and probably faster than it was last year too, which I think shows up a lot. I think you could say receivers better because you're just kind of comparing Jeremiah to himself, and he's a better version of himself than he was last year. And Carnell Tate is excellent, so he's as good as Emeka Egbuka, I think, if not does some things a little better. And you're right about the running back. I'll be curious if that matters because the one thing the offense seems to be lacking right now is that ability to kind of hit the home run running the ball that you had last year with Travion and Quinshon. But aside from that, I don't know that there's much else that this team is lacking compared to last year's team.
Bill, we asked this earlier this evening. Was curious to get your opinion on it. Did Indiana and Oregon show more vulnerability or moxie in their come-from-behind last-minute wins on the road last week?
Oh, I would probably split that and say that Indiana, I thought, showed some vulnerability with its offensive line. I think giving up some pressure to Penn State's defense. They did sack Fernando Mendoza 3 times a week after not sacking Julian Sayin once, which I thought was an interesting comparison. And then Indiana's defense gave up some explosive plays. So I thought they did look a little vulnerable. But I actually give a ton of credit to Oregon for what they did because they were down, I think, 4 or 5 offensive starters by basically like the second quarter of that game. And we all know how hard it is to win in Kinnick, and the weather was bad, and the game just always sort of turns into a rock fight there. So I think to kind of bear down and do what it took to win that game was pretty impressive for Oregon.
Bill Landis, we always appreciate your time. Fans can check you out at Substack, many other platforms out there as well. Bill, we appreciate your time. Thank you, okay?
Yep. Yeah, thank you, guys.
All right, all Ohio State and UCLA talk coming up next segment, our final one of the evening with some chalk talk. That is next as tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
You're listening to Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Now, the officials have been talking for quite some time.
All righty, let's see what they have to say.
Upon further review, there is no penalty on the play. However, we have conferred and discovered that Bob, the line judge, has saved a boatload for his kids' college using Ohio's 529 plan. It is tax-free, accepted nationwide. Bob recommends we all go to collegeadvantage.com. First down.
Well, that's not entirely unexpected.
Classic Bob.
Hey, Buckeye fans. Are you thinking of consolidating your debt with a home equity loan? Union Home Mortgage wants you to know the average homeowner has over $200,000 of home equity available, and they can help you get access to your money quickly and easily. Go to UHM.com to get your cash estimate today. You'll score financial freedom with Union Home Mortgage, the official home lending sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Union Home Mortgage Corp. is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
Calling all tailgaters. Learn more about the heart and soul of Ohio State with Game Day Taste and Traditions, presented by the Ohio Beef Council and Weber Grills. Dive into the rich history, iconic beef recipes perfect for your tailgate at home or outside of the shoe, and cherished customs that make our Buckeye community unique. Get yours now and celebrate Game Day with the spirit of Ohio State athletics. Find your Game Day Taste and Traditions guide at Buckeye Game Day Fan Fest and participating retailers.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Buckeye fans, this is for you. Level up with the brand new AAA Buckeyes MVP membership. You'll receive all the benefits of AAA, such as 24/7 roadside assistance, plus chances to win tickets to Ohio State sporting events, access to exclusive MVP experiences, along with 10% off select gear at the Ohio State team shop. Already a AAA member? Add the Buckeyes MVP membership for free. Head to AAA.com/Buckeyes to upgrade or join the squad and put your fandom in drive.
American Electric Power is a proud sponsor of Buckeyes Care.
Hi, I'm Janelle Coleman with American Electric Power. AEP comes together with our communities to create a better future every day. Whether we serve, build, or simply share with others, we make Central Ohio brighter for our neighbors. Our collaboration with Buckeyes Care is another way we work to make the future boundless for all.
Always and forever, your home of the Buckeyes. Home of the Buckeyes. The Fan. You're listening to the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back, everybody, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show with Jim Lachey, Paul Keels. Coach John Cooper will be back with us next week. I'm Skip Mossick. We are proudly presented by Burger King. Visit your local BK restaurant to grab your $10 O-Fry O bundle. That includes a medium fry, 8-piece chicken fries, 8-piece mozzarella fries, 8-piece chicken nuggets, and a custom OSU crown. All for just $10 at your local Burger King.
Buckeye Roundtable. Chalk Talk.
Like a big old Whopper right now. Let's go out and get ourselves a Whopper on the way home. Delivery of the game. Better get somebody to deliver it to you. Who needs to deliver for Ohio State to get the win over UCLA the most on Saturday?
I'm going to say the running back committee, because the Bruins' defense against Nebraska was like Swiss cheese. Emmett Johnson ran for over 100. He caught over 100 yards receiving. And the Bruins with a lot of missed tackles in that game. So how about the running back group?
Yeah, and I think it's our linebackers and our defensive front, because you got Nico back there who can, run that football, as we talked about earlier. He's obviously their top quarterback and their leading rusher, so he's going to try to do a lot with his feet. We saw that last year with Tennessee. We got to get some hits on him. Remember Cody Simon, I think, cracking his helmet? That was incredible. And so I think our linebackers going to have to set up again and make sure that they kind of keep him contained so he didn't break out. But when I look at their defense, they got a huge defensive tackle, like Gary Smith, 340 pounds. And I guarantee he's going to line up over the right guard. That's where they're going to kind of keep him planted to see if he can get some pressure inside. At 6'2", 340, he's a bowling ball there inside and can roll. And then I like their linebacker, number 6, John Vaughns. I think he's a good player with 88 tackles so far this year.
Every opposing coach that UCLA has faced the last month has said the same thing, that UCLA has played better since the coaching change. Why do you think that is?
Probably different voice. And remember, their whole thing got screwed up a couple of years ago when Ryan Day hired Chip Kelly. Late into the process.
It's our fault.
No, I wasn't saying that, Skip. But, Deshaun Foster was thrown in late in the cycle. Obviously, that didn't connect. And, Tim Skipper really got some good things going for a few weeks. You know, if it was a new voice or whatever. And Nico Iamaleava played better because he had not played well in their first few games. But,
I think when I look at UCLA, I think they're hurting in the trenches a little bit. They only got 6 sacks on the season, 3 interceptions by their defense. I think 28 tackles for loss. When you compare that to Ohio State, we got 25 sacks, 56 TFLs. That's where you should kind of be, after 9 ball games. And then you look at their offensive line; they've given up 22 sacks so far this year. That's got to be. Can't say, but it's got to be near the top in the Big Ten as far as most sacks given up. So. I don't think their fronts has been as good. Obviously they got some talent outside, and Jalen Berger has done a nice job at running back for them. And I think they got some, some guys in the secondary that can make some plays. But I just don't think they're built at the line of scrimmage the way they need to be built.
A lot of jobs are open right now. Does Tim Skipper have a chance at this thing, or do you think they go elsewhere?
I'd probably go elsewhere. Had they not just got boat raced like they did at Indiana and not lost last week in Nebraska, then maybe there would have been some consideration for that. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see not only whom are they interested in, but who they get with all of the other jobs that are open.
Who's going to make that hire? You think Martin will get
Martin Jarman, who used to be here? You would think he'd be the one to make it.
Yeah, you saw how they handled that at LSU. They fired the AD, and maybe the governor's going to make that call there. So that's interesting. And the pool of coaches out there. You could think maybe James Franklin, but I think he wants to get out of the Big Ten. Maybe he'll go to Virginia Tech. Maybe somebody would Jed Fish leave Washington to go to
after
UCLA?
just being there a couple of years. I don't know.
We asked Ross Bjork about this at halftime on Saturday as far as November night games, and he said basically get used to them.
Well, but this was also, we can say it now, this was Ohio State did not want a night game at Purdue, so they acquiesced to saying, okay, we'll play UCLA at home at night.
Night games at home, we got to love it.
Much better at home than they are on the road.
Yes, they are.
Buckeyes in the NFL to take us home, Jim.
How about Travion Henderson? They finally decided to give him the ball. 14 carries, 147 yards, a pair of touchdowns. He had both his touchdowns were long runs. Actually, in his last touchdown, he was so far ahead of the secondary that he kind of looked at the bench like, you want me to score here or you want me to go down and take a knee to kill some time here? They said, go ahead and score. Sticking with the Patriots, how about Mike Vrabel, the job he's doing? He's got him at 8-2 right now. They beat Tampa Bay, which, Tampa Bay is a pretty good squad with a good quarterback and a good coach in Todd Bowles. They found a way to knock those guys off, so I think he's kind of trending in the right area. Cody Simon is playing well. He's the leading tackler for Arizona. He had 6 tackles. Denzel Burke picked up back-to-back interceptions in 2 games. It seems like I say this guy's name every week, but Jackson Smith and Jigba, over 1,000 yards. He's got 63 receptions, 5 touchdowns for the year. And I think Marvin Harrison is benefiting from a new quarterback right now. He's starting to make some plays.
Guys, great job tonight. UCLA week. We'll see you Saturday nights at Ohio Stadium.
Bundle up.
1970. Remember 75? Ohio State beat them badly out there in L.A. and then
lost to them in a Rose Bowl.
Upset so bad. Remember, Coach Hayes is one of his best teams.
Remember 1980 when Kenny Easley got kicked out of that game?
I remember that. He's still barking about it. Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King has been brought to you statewide by Encova Insurance, the American Dairy Association Mideast, Window Nation, and by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers. As always, thank you all for listening from Learfield. This is the Ohio State Sports Network presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.